Hello, and welcome to another edition of Sharing a Groove. I'm your host and creator, Rob Carroll. And for this session, I have a very special guest with us, Blake Christiana of Yarn.
Yee-hoo!
Blake, there's so much I want to cover and discuss with you, but today we're going to focus on the excitement of an upcoming event.
Yes,
And
let's focus.
that event is going to be the your album, Saturday Night Sermon, releases this Friday.
We're releasing a Saturday night record on Friday night. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. So, yeah, what I'd like to do here is I'm going to share my screen real quick and show some people what they need to be doing about this.
Yes, please pre-save the record on whatever streaming app you prefer. We've been at this for a long time, but the streaming services are now kind of ruling the music folk like ourselves and kind of gatekeeping what gets to people. So if more people are hip to it, the more they're going to put it in front of new ears. And I hate that I'm even lobbying like this, but we've been out here for 20 years and we just want to keep being out here. So the little bit you can help, the better for us, the better for our music finding new ears.
Well, folks, if you use Spotify, this is what it should look like. Go into the search, look for Saturday Night Sermon, and where it says pre-saved right here, it's going to say, click to save. You want to do that and get that pre-save. So definitely
Yeah,
something that.
you
Go
can
ahead.
also do it on Apple and Deezer. I mean, you can do it on whatever platform you're on. Amazon. I can't even think. There's probably 100 of them now, but the three main ones are Spotify, Amazon, Apple.
Well,
I hate that I have to even ask
well,
for this.
it's fine. It's all about the distribution. Now, to my calculation, this will be Yarn's 12th released album, 14 if we include the two live sessions.
I guess you know better than I do. I'm always trying. I can only count to 10. So
Right on.
if you say
Well,
12,
hey,
it's 12.
well, talking about distribution, I remember 25 years ago, a friend of mine, their band was releasing a nationally distributed album, and he's like, "Hey, Rob, when you travel, please buy the CD in the different states you go to." So I ended up with like 20 copies of the same $20 CD.
Yeah.
And today it seems much easier, but yet much more complicated. Tell
Well,
us a little
I
bit
think
about.
it's much easier, but much less lucrative. I think is the better term. But it also has
What?
its upsides. I mean, we get a lot of fans at our shows that say, "I found you on Spotify. I was just playing whatever, fill in the blank, and your song came up." And I heard it twice. I said, "Well, who the hell is that?" And then they look and they're like, I mean, it has its purpose. Every corporation, every successful, huge corporation is evil. I mean, that is just the truth. There is an evil entity to anyone who's that big and has that much money and is that
Yeah,
successful. I'm sorry, billionaires. You did something really bad at some point in your life. You know what I mean? And but some good comes out of these things, and I think that's one of the good things about Spotify is that they really lock into like people's habits and what they are into. Like Apple, I guess, doesn't do as good a job, but Spotify actually puts music behind a song that someone already likes that they might actually like. Like I hate to give Spotify any credit for anything, but I have to. They've brought a lot of people to our shows.
now tell me like the difference. Like people pre-saving this. Does that if you reach a certain amount of pre-saves, does it move you into a different category? How does that
Exactly.
work?
I'm just finding this out. That yeah, the more pre-saves, the more the algorithm takes notice, the more it gets pushed to new ears, the more it gets tested into new markets and new ears. And if it doesn't get skipped, I mean, there's a million little details about this that I didn't know until this particular release. But if the skip rate is low, if the replay is high, they just keep feeding the machine and you just keep getting new listeners. If that drops below a certain number, then they take it out of the mix. I mean, I'm sure all of it is automated. It's not like there's a human ear listening to these songs. It's all, automated. It's computers.
Well, I've had the pleasure to hear most of this new album, either from hearing it live at your shows, or Danny, sending over the taped recordings. And this one definitely hits on a different level, especially for me. I feel I have a lot in common with you. When it comes to we're always yearning for the next thing, or we have some grand idea that we're trying to accomplish. And at least for me, no matter what it is, it's never enough.
I know. Isn't that the word? That's the human condition. We are tortured.
It's crazy. I am my worst critic, and worst of all, I create more unnecessary stress than anybody on the planet for myself. I think we lost him. Really appreciate him jumping on for a few minutes to talk about the upcoming album. I really do feel that this creation is Yarn's biggest masterpiece, and there's a few things behind it that they've added into this. I mean, they brought in a gospel choir that is actually on most of the songs, in addition to several friends that are playing saxophone and horns and the keys. Bobby, Ricky, Andrew, and Blake, they're all great alone, but adding in those additional elements just really takes this album to a whole new level. And I felt a real definite connection between all of these songs. And just to kind of talk through a few of them, I mean, one of the first songs on the album is, Let the Universe. It really talks about steps to changing your attitude and having a better day. Oftentimes I have to remind myself, just let the cards fall. Quit trying to orchestrate everything, and sometimes just let the universe do its thing. And one awesome thing, and as you download this and hear it on, you'll hear the choir. He might be back.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
I was actually just moving forward on the podcast and talking about the creation of this album, and what I kind of felt was a masterpiece is the gospel choir.
Yeah.
Where'd you find a gospel choir?
Well, we were making the record, and there was a bunch of, you could just kind of hear a gospel choir on it before we decided to put one on it. And Damien, at one point, our co-producer, in whose studio we tracked the album out up in New Jersey, and he was like, Blake, I've been playing with this guy, Paul Pesco, used to be Madonna's guitar player, played with everybody, Hall & Oates, everybody. And he goes, he's got this gospel choir in Brooklyn that he sings with that he's going to start hiring out to do records. And we were literally the first record that used this family. They're the Carpenters. I wish I could remember each and every one of their first names, but it's on the back of the album. And so I met him up in New Jersey, and we tracked him in his studio. It was two brothers, two sisters, and a mom, and Paul. Yeah, it really adds that special touch, and it just gives it a little bit of a, let's celebrate the real beauty of life and not the hypocritical organized religion side of it. I mean, no God of mine judges anyone for their preferences, beliefs, or anything. So I think it just bodes well for the record.
Well, there's definitely a connection between all the songs on this album. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you is what your perspective was on the messaging of those. And you were already one step ahead of me on talking about that. Because let's just take, for example, Let the Universe. Steps to changing your attitude and having a better day. Just take those baby steps. Oftentimes I have to remind myself, sometimes just let the cards fall. Quit trying to feel like you have to orchestrate every part of your life. Just let the universe do its thing, and everything will, let things fall in place. And the choir in that song is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the many messages, or the ultimate message is just to just celebrate what you've been given. I know it's not hard for anyone. I know it's harder for some people. Some people are born into a different situation that's more challenging. Some people are born into a real easy situation, but I think we need to take a step back. First of all, do not let anyone steal your joy, especially some moron on the TV news. And I'm not speaking about anyone in particular, but I'm speaking about all of it. Like, everyone's fighting for celebrity. Everybody's fighting to be talked about. Just have a good life. Like, why are you angry? Why are you mad? Okay. Yeah, and the reasons, if you take a second as to why you're so pissed off and what you're so upset about, it's so minuscule and pointless. Like, this is your life you're living. Like, choose to live it well, live it wisely, live it joyously, even through the struggle and the heartache. I mean, that's the ultimate message that I'll probably be preaching until I'm dead. So, to concern yourself with someone else's lunacy or somebody's bad idea, don't let it take your joy out of life.
Yeah.
And listen to the
Well,
universe. I mean, all that shit is man-made. You know, this is all stuff that isn't real, and there are no rules. So remember that, and don't take part in it. Like, it's your choice to be happy or not, and that's just a fact.
well, and the next is, the next song wanted to talk about is Might As Well Be King. And this is one of my favorite lines in the entire album. All this worrying, hurrying, and carrying on ain't nothing but a waste. And it's kind of owed back to the, let the universe. Like I said, this album flows so well when it comes to your songwriting in it and the messaging through it. And then, of course, you referencing, in Might As Well Be King, what if it's never enough, which Never Enough is my favorite song on this entire album.
Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know what's going on. We might be losing you again. Oh. He broke off again. We're going to struggle through this, but just talking a little bit about how the songs in this particular album just really are hitting on each other. And one follows the other. And, Good Things. I'm going to share something here from the song Good Things. He references falling back into the doldrums. And looks like he's joining us again.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you recognize that, from Might As Well Be King to Never Enough to
Yes.
Let the Universe, I mean, even Good Day,
Yeah. Good Day, the song of the summer. I completely agree with you.
I hope
when
so.
I hear it, I see myself on my deck looking up at the mountains or sitting at the lake around the fire with my friends. Natalie is always bringing me a cocktail in my little visions here, and it's just just such a great song. And dude, I love the very end with the horns. Church.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! It's such a great song. The other thing, and I've got it pulled up on my screen right now, the definition of a doldrum. And as we're looking at it, the doldrums refer to a state of inactivity, stagnation, or depression. And I know we all fall into the doldrums, and that is
yes,
great within that song. Good Things.
Yes, Good Things was. I've had this conversation a few times in the last couple of weeks. Good Things was written while I was completely frustrated and pissed off and thinking negatively and forcing myself to be positive. So I went downstairs and I'm like, good things, God damn it, good things. And I had my guitar in my hand and good things, not the same old sad and bad things. And then the song just wrote itself, and it was just almost like a mantra in a down, depressed moment and state. The idea was, I'm going to pull myself out of this. I'm going to write a song that's nothing but positive, reminding myself how lucky I am, and hopefully it'll connect with somebody else.
Yeah, it's lyrical. This is hands down, top to bottom, just such a great album. I mean, the next is Never Enough. I already mentioned this is my favorite song, but I'm a man of great conviction, but with it comes a cost. Sorry to my wife and kids and all the people that I love, but I live that daily. I put more stress on myself, and then that stress exuberates out to everyone around me. You can ask my wife. You can ask Grant. He actually has to talk me off the wall.
Well, it always comes out on the people we love the most because they're the ones.
We lost him. He's on tour. He's on the shores of Lake Erie. The long story of this podcast is, please go online, save the pre-save on your favorite music source. In addition, on Friday, not just save it, go ahead and listen to it. I'm not going to tell people what to do. But, I highly encourage pre-saving this album. I will say that these songs are really, truly from the heart. Let alone performed by some of the best musicians that I personally know. And I would bet that everybody will relate to the words and the lyrics of these songs to some level. A couple other songs I wanted to talk about today was New Light. I've got the sweatshirt that was made for me this year. If you hear the music, you will find me. Please, once again, this is a song toward the end of the album, Horns. He's going to join one more time. We're going to give it a shot. And we're back.
Well, you're going to edit this all, right? We're good.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be edited up quite a bit. I've been, as you've been off, I've been talking through, some of the different songs and some of the cool nuances I thought about it. I will finish with the last song on the album, which is Welcome New Home. You decided to wrap this masterpiece up with a bow. Basically, the way I took this song is, saying it's your life, go get it. Go live that life. And then step back and enjoy the new perspective you have. And like I said, this album from start to finish, song by song, has really followed a constant message, almost to a story, and wrapped up perfectly with a bow.
Yeah, well, that was definitely the closer. We opened with Saturday Night Sermon, which was kind of an introduction to what you were about to hear. And Welcome New Home it's about to be honest with you, it's about like a mass awakening of consciousness and people figuring out that they're wasting their lives or wasting their time being so angry and hateful against something that is honestly, they don't even know why. They think they know why, but it's like generations upon generations of bad thinking, and like brainwashing. So we get born into this world that is already so fucked up. Right. With the way we think and the way people think about things and who's good and who's bad and what's good and what's bad. And nobody invented that other than somebody. It's not a rule anyone has to follow. The message in that song is just a little shift, love and joy is born, and like talking about the island surrounded with fire, and like it really is. We are on an island surrounded by fire. We can't leave this place because we're so trapped in lies and nonsense. So I mean, that's the bigger thing about that song, and then the inspiration for the song, my wife had a dream about a river where elephants were that she would go, and some of her friends couldn't go. They weren't allowed. And I was there, and my dog, Chloe, and our kids. And it was like this peaceful utopia where none of that outside world mattered. We were on a different plane of consciousness where we thought that little shift, like, what are we mad about? What are we upset about? We chose to be here. We chose to be here to be in human form. We chose to enjoy touch, smell, temperature, air, the fire and water, like I don't believe we can do that once we're gone. I don't believe we die. I think we're pretty eternal, but we probably go back into a pool of energy but I mean, I don't know anything, but all I know is there's no point in taking this place for granted and not really indulging in it, not in an unhealthy way, but taking it in and flying above the fire and saying, see you guys, I'm not partaking in your nonsensical society and life. I'm going to enjoy my own. And hopefully y'all will join us and we'll ultimately put that fire out and we'll come to our senses. In my opinion, it's common sense.
I am truly blessed, with the network of people I get to communicate with daily, weekly, monthly. And because of Blake and the band Yarn, I have so many people on the East Coast now that I get to communicate with. So blessed and thankful isn't enough. He and the band has opened up their world to us, and because of that, we have been able to socially explode. And I tell Grant this all the time. This isn't slowing down, and as the band continues to tour more, as Yarn continues to produce music, I mean, they're coming out basically about every 18 months right now with new music, and they're already playing new songs on the next album at their live shows. So definitely excited about this upcoming album. Blake is obviously very excited about it. The algorithm is a real thing when it comes to distribution. And would love nothing more for you to not only pre-save this, pour yourself a beverage of choice when you get home from work, sit on your deck or porch because the weather in most places right now is looking really good, and take in this album, this masterpiece. And while you're at it, text your friends and send them a link because nobody frowns when somebody sends someone really good music to listen to. So, hey, once again, thank you for taking in another episode of Sharing a Groove, and we'll catch you next time.